All right, well, let's get the show on the road. So surgeons and network marketers, they have one talent. This is something I taught about some years ago, and it came up the other day. And I'm going to see if any of you can guess what the talent is that surgeons need to have, and that network marketers need to have, and that every top performer, the top, not the little, babies, I mean the top people, they have to have this one talent. So who thinks they know what it is? Just put in the chat that you think you know what it is. Don't tell me what it is. Just tell me you think you know.
Anastasia,
you think you know?
Knows.
She knows, okay. Okay. There's a talent. Okay, I want to show you. And then I'll show you a case study. So first, I like to do this. I've started doing this lately. Hurry up and draw a line across your page like this. So get a piece of paper, get some kind of a notebook. And in this case, what you want to do is you get a clean pad like this, see? And you put a line like this, right here. See that? Can you see the line? There, boom. So it's down 2/3 of the page. All right, then, here's next. You all need to participate. I want to look for your lines. You don't get a prize at the end. No candy for you. No drink. No blueberry, nothing. What do you want to earn with your business in the next 12 months? Okay, and you put that, what do you want to earn with your business? So you could, it doesn't matter to me how you do it. You could say from today until, March 28, 29. By March 29, 2023, I want to have earned this much. Okay, so you can put it all together and say, well, it's going to be 100 grand by next year, or it's going to be 50 grand or 200 grand or $1 million. What do you want to earn that you believe you can earn? Because I want to show you how to do it. So pick a number that you believe you can earn in the next 12 months. So by March 29, you will have earned this much money from your business. Who's got their number written down? I don't need to know what it is. I just want to know. Say yes if you got it written down. We won't move until I get all the yeses. Okay, put that number here. So you're going to put that number up here, okay, at the top of that line. What I want to earn. Okay, so it'd be like this. What you want to earn, see? See that? Want, blah, blah. Everybody got it?
Yep.
Okay. That goes, it's the goal number. Okay, you have your number. Feel free to share some of those numbers. We love to see them. Nothing beats having a goal. Underneath that, put what you did earn last year. Okay, what you want, what you did. Okay, so you put what you want and what you did. So let's say that you say, in the next 12 months, I'm going to just pick a number. And let's say that you said you wanted to earn $100,000 in the next 12 months. All right, so what you did earn. Okay, next. Let's say that you want to earn 100 grand in the next 12 months. How many people are with me? 100 grand's a pretty good number. What do you see anything in there? Vic, I can't see the chat too well.
I'll tell you, they're coming in now. Yes, they're agreeing. Let's do 100 grand. Very doable.
All right, 100 grand for the year. And let's say that last year you earned $1,000. How far off are we from how most of you probably did? What your goal is and what you did last year? Or is this pretty close? Is there quite a distance between what you want to earn in the next 12 months and what you earned in the last 12 months from your business? Is there like a big distance?
You're off 99,000, halfway.
Okay, so here, yep, with this example, we have a negative 99,000, right? Okay, so this is what we're talking about, your business, okay, 99,000. So that 99,000 is really what you lost in the last 12 months. You lost that money because it's out there to be earned. You realize that somebody earned it, just wasn't you. And there's a lot. The fact that you earn it doesn't mean somebody else can't. There's unlimited amount of money available. People create it, kaboom. Look at the crypto market and the NFT market. Last year at this time, maybe 16 months ago, what was an NFT? Who ever heard of the Bored Ape Yacht Club? Those guys are worth, I mean, I think their company's evaluated at almost $1 billion in a year. That's all just created. So don't worry about, just know that whatever the difference is between what you said your goal is for the next 12 months and what you actually earned, which in this case is $99,000, I want you to see that this is what you lost. Do we all see this? Yes or no? Make sure that you get this. You lost. Why? Because you didn't learn how to earn what you said you wanted to earn. Right? You didn't learn how to earn what you said you wanted to earn. It's as simple as that. That's all. If you knew how to do it, wouldn't you do it? I mean, unless the goal is just hyperbole and you really don't care. What's your story on your goal? Do you really want it, or are you just talking to feel good? So my question is, I'm going to show you a methodology that is so simple, you will go, you got to be kidding. Yeah, and I'm going to say, yeah, that's the answer. I mean, I don't normally frame things as simple or not simple because there's much, it's really never what it appears. But I'm going to give you something that's very straight, and there are no yucky yucks and there are no tricky anything. It's just how it is. And it's something that all of you can do if you want to achieve that goal. I mean, there's physically nothing. You don't need to go to Harvard like I did. You don't need to have, a bunch of kids like many of you who are moms. You don't need to be an accountant. There's nothing special you need to be except human. You can talk to people, right? All right, so here's what I wanted. This is our case study, and this is discussing the talent that surgeons need. And the reason I'm very into medicine, I went to pre-med, I was going to become a surgeon. And that's why I have a huge library of medical stuff, wonderful medical books. Some of you know an author named Atul Gawande. He's one of the most wonderful humans on this planet. And many years ago, he wrote a book called Complications in the Annals of Medicine. You can see it here, you can get it. It's like 2002, I think. In this book, he talks about what it takes to become a surgeon, because that's what he is. He's a surgeon, okay? Because he asked the question, so what does it take to become a surgeon? Like, of course, he's a very well-known surgeon, and he's better now than he was in 2002 when this book was written. But here's what he said about becoming a surgeon. There have been many studies of elite performers. And he says international violinists, these are examples, chess grandmasters, professional ice skaters, like our friend, Karen. And the biggest difference that researchers find between them and the lesser performers, okay? You ready for this? Tell me yes. Biggest difference. One difference. One thing, he said. Okay, here we go. The cumulative amount of deliberate practice that they have had. Deliberate practice. What is deliberate practice? Well, it means that you plan to practice deliberately at a certain time every day, whatever it is that's going to happen. You are deliberately setting yourself up to practice. Just like you deliberately go to sleep every night because it's habit now. But in the beginning, when you develop a habit, whether it's a violinist or whether it's a baseball player or a boxer or a tennis player, the cumulative amount of deliberate practice doing that thing, not 50 things, that one thing. You get this? Does everybody say that? The most important talent may be the talent for practice itself. Now, let me show you how this works. Okay, you got this? What's the most important thing that ties a network marketer and Elon Musk and a violinist and a network marketer and a surgeon together? The talent for practice. And here's how this works. How do you do that deliberately? Okay, it's the ability to do repetitions over and over and over and over and over and over and over, whether you're doing sit-ups, whether you're doing push-ups, whether you're doing in the foreign language lab and you're learning Rosetta or whoever is teaching you Pimsleur, right? Language. You say it, bonjour, comment ça va? Bonjour, comment ça va? And then they send you to France so that you're immersed. Why? So you get the repetitions, you get the repetitions, you get the repetitions, you hear it, you do it, you live it, right? That's what we're doing here. And my question is, can you guys do repetitions? If I tell you how many to do to make yourself 300 grand next year? Yes or no? So you said yes or no, you think you can. It takes that to become a great surgeon. It takes that to become a super successful network marketer, repetitions. The one word, repetitions, which is the talent to practice, because that leads to being able to do repetitions, okay? And to become a super performer like Elon Musk. Any of you have read his biographies? There's one biographer, it's like, I think 2,000 pages. It was like 50 hours. And I listened to the whole thing twice. The number of repetitions he did to make things, it's just incredible. But we don't know that because nobody reports that's born. Chester, his name is Chester. That's not his real name, but he's close enough. He's now making $2 million a year in the industry, and he doesn't have to do anything at all. Okay, $2 million a year, but he didn't start there. And so to put him into context, I want to tell you that he started 18 years ago, and he had no network marketing experience. He is not at all what I would call a charmer. I mean, he's not anti-charming, but I would not say this boy is going to charm your socks off. He's really kind of stiff, and his voice doesn't modulate very much. It's kind of like, well, here is how you do this, and kind of like robotic. But he's a wonderful man. But I'm just saying, don't think personality plus is what you need. You don't. Okay, repetition doesn't require personality. It requires that you do the thing. Okay, all right. So here's when we tell you the story. Chester, when he started, he was introduced to this product, and he really liked it. He's always been into health, kind of try to take care of himself. And he was introduced to this product. It was a product that helps people restore their health, restore their energy, and it kind of works from the inside out. It's kind of like an energy type stuff. For people, some people take a lot of pills and do all this stuff, and other people, the fringes, which are now becoming more common, deal with things like that work from the inside out, and you don't even put anything into your body. So that's the nature of the product that he was introduced to 18 years ago. Remember, 18 years ago is what is it, 2020, 2000, I don't know, 2005? So it's a long time ago, all right? He had never done network marketing before. He was in real estate management and investment at that time, with shopping centers and managing them and leasing them, and then doing some investing in those properties. Now, the fact that he was in the real estate investment business, in my humble opinion, helped him. And I'm going to show you what the help is so you can adopt it. But it helped him with a certain, something that a lot of us didn't really grow up with. But I'm going to tell you what it is. So the fact that you weren't in real estate or that you didn't go to Harvard doesn't make any difference. So we're going back 18 years. He's never done it before. He's never made one dime in this business. And real estate management is not sales, for your information. Somebody else hustles up the sales and brings it in. And then you manage it, make sure they pay the rent, okay? All right, so here we go. So first, he saw in this product, his personal vision was, when he went home, he said, this really has a lot of potential. I think there might be people who really want this. That's what he thought. You can have your own thoughts about your product like that, but the key is to have the thoughts at all. This has real potential, not because your upline says so. No, God, that's the last reason, no matter who they are. If I'm your upline, the fact that I think it's great is, no, get your own reason. Do you think that's pretty cool? Yeah, I think, how could it be cool? Well, and your own mind should start going, because if not, you won't have anything inside you to keep you going. See? So decide, do you see any potential in what you're doing? Could it really be big? Okay, so that's what I'm telling you. These are the things that I can tell you about him. I know because we had a big interview and I went through the whole thing, so I wouldn't miss a note for you. Then he saw results that he had gotten for people, and he got some results himself. Okay, so we got those two things. Tell me yes, we got those two things. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, great potential. That's exactly right. It has great potential. Okay, now, and you know why? Because remember, you had these things. He saw the potential and he thought, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like that. He saw the results and he believed in the philosophy behind the product. This is something else I want to tell you that makes it possible to do. When I tell you what he did, half of you are going to pass out. I think you're going to pass out right there. But if you have these things going for your mind, he believed in the philosophy. He believed in the direction that the guy who was creating the product was taking health. See, if you're a pharmaceutical drug person, and there's nothing wrong with those people, we just don't happen to be in that bunch. But they want to make pharmaceuticals better, the good people, okay? Well, they want to make it better, more effective, and they believe in that philosophy. Well, there are those of us who believe that, except for trauma, we should really try to find alternates so it's not just, a closet full of drugs. And so the philosophy we have in our minds is, are there alternatives to pharmaceutical type drugs which have so many side effects in any cases at all? Is there anything where we could have an alternative? That's our philosophy. It's my philosophy. It doesn't have to be yours. But it was also Chester's. And it was also the philosophy of the founder of the product. You see the importance of this? Tell me yes. It's really critical that you feel that because it's what keeps you going. So here's what he did in this order. Are you ready? You got your little pad? Okay. Are we ready? Number one, he set a goal for his first 12 months. Okay, write that down. Set a goal for his first 12 months. So I'm going to tell you what his goal was here. But you need to set a goal for your first 12 months. By the end of the next 12 months, what is your goal? Okay. Now, your goal can be numbers of people that you're going to implement. It can be money. It can be, anything. It needs to be something that is measurable. So you did it, yes or no. Measurable. So not, I want to make people feel good. No, that's not measurable. I want to be passionate. No, that's not measurable. I want to get a lot of people. Is that measurable? Can anybody know if you ever hit that goal? Yes or no? A lot of people. Is that a measurable goal? Yes or no? No. How about, I want to make more Momo. Oh yeah, man, give me more Momo. I want that. Is that measurable or not?
Nope.
What he decided. He said, I'm going to earn 6 figures. And he said, that means I'm going to earn $100,000 after my first 12 months. That is my goal. That was his goal. Now, then he made a plan. So, okay, so how am I going to do this? Now, do you think his plan would be, let's see, I'm going to get, really excited about the product. You think so? What do you think? No, none of that. How am I going to reach this goal? Knowing that he's behind the product, he's philosophically aligned with it. He likes being cutting edge because it was new at that time, still new, relatively speaking, right? So how's he going to do that? All right. Get your pencils ready. The plan. He made a plan. And first of all, he said, now I know that there are 2 kinds of people that I'm looking for in my business. This was him, okay? There are money people and there are product people. Money people and product people. So guess who the money people are? You think they're customers or recruits? What are they? Customers or recruits? Yep, you got it, Steve. 100 grand is measurable. A team of 200 people is measurable. Absolutely. So he said there are money people and product people, but I'm going to focus on the money people right now because that's who he is. Remember, he's, in real estate, we know you have offices and you can have like franchises, you have other people who are trying to expand your business, like securities trading and like real estate. That's very much in there. So that's what he's got. He's going to focus on the money people. Now here's the daily plan. That's what he has. He decided he is going to do 60 dials per day, which tells you he was before Steve Jobs and the iPhone. I don't think we dial here. Do we dial? I guess we do. I mean, there's no dialing, but you don't really, I don't know, maybe you still, but remember the dialing? People used to have dials. 60 dials per day, 5 days a week. Okay, have any of you passed out yet? 60 dials per day, 5 days per week. Okay, I haven't seen a word, so I guess they've passed out, huh, Vicki?
They passed out.
Now, 60 dials means that he's gonna place 60 calls. The call, because the dial is what he can control. You have dials. You know, we used to run cadaver challenges. We may do it again for some of our people. We used to run them, and we'd say, how many dials did you do? And how many connects did you have? Because they're different. But he just counted the dials. The actual calling of the number, if it was a dead number or they had to leave a message, 60 per day. And then he said, I agreed with myself that if I didn't make my 60 dials each day, because he had a spreadsheet, every day he would tick off that he had whichever ones he did. And, you know, if you have any kind of a spreadsheet, you know what you did every day. That's what he had, reams of spreadsheets that he had, because I don't think he was on the computer. He used them all by hand. And he would say, okay, if I didn't hit my 60 dials per day, which is 300 per week, he agreed with himself he'd work on weekends if he didn't make his numbers the previous 5-day week. So he would never do less than 60 dials a day, 5 days per week. Yeah, of course it is. It's a lot of calls. 100 grand is a lot of money, right? We're not looking for $5 an hour. We're not looking for $30 an hour or even $100 an hour. We're looking for 100 grand. Once you get it going, pretty much keeps coming. Don't you think that's a pretty cool kind of, to do this kind of work and bust it now? Of course, it's a lot of calls, but the income is a lot. See, in the network marketing area, especially, they like to belittle, you know, the work. But very few people make 100 grand a year in network marketing. If you look at your pay plan, they're required to give you how many people. Ask your company or your upline, hey, where do I find the information on how much money people make in my company? You'll find aren't even 3% who are at the top of the pay plan. And many of the people at the top of the pay plan aren't making any money because their whole organization fell away. Because they don't do this. They don't even realize that there's any discipline to becoming excellent at something. Now, you don't want to become an excellent caller. You want to become an excellent, you know, organization builder. But this is where he started. Okay, have we got this? So, you know, if you can't make that many calls, change your goal, your income goal. Because remember how he started, right? The first thing was, I want to make 100 grand this next 12 months. I'm going to do 60 dials per day. And I'm going to be looking for the money people, okay? Every day. And if I don't do it, I'm going to make up on the weekend. And if he had extra, he'd give himself a break and they could carry forward. Everybody understand this so far? Okay, Kathy Carr. Yep, it's a lot of calls. Yeah, everybody likes to underestimate the work. I don't. I rather know what it is, because then we can think, okay, what are 25 ways we can get 50 people in a room at one time? So in one day, I've got 60, or 1 week. That's how I would do it today. You know, because once you have the goal and you know you got to do this many, then your mind goes, now, how can I do that so I could get 300 in one day? That would cover me the whole week. I could have the whole week off. Right? Kathy, am I right? See, once you decide you are going to do it because you want that goal, then it's all about, well, what are the best ways to, suddenly you, I could do this, I could do that, and suddenly your brain's going crazy to help you. Are you with me? All right. So here's what happened. He sponsored 108 people. Now think about it, do the math. He's 60 dials a day, that's 300 a week. And how many was that? 300 a week. There are 52 weeks in a year, so what is that? 1,800, 18,000. It's like a lot of people. I should have done the math. Maybe you can do the math, okay? It's 60 like per day times, 15,
yeah, so 15,600, I think. Somewhere.
Okay, 15,600 dials. Oh, you got this? Yeah, good. Good, Nicole Murphy. And how many personal recruits did he get out of all of that? How many? What do you see here? Hello, how many? Do the math. The numbers are positively dreadful. But don't you want to know instead of pretending that almost everybody's going to say yes when almost nobody does? Hello. You need to know the numbers so you know what you're getting into. It's like going into the service and wearing a prom dress. That's not what you wear. You got to get your armor on. Get your hat with whatever they wear when they're doing army stuff. If you're not prepared, you're going to die on the field of calling people, thinking you're going to have to call 3 people. Does this put the numbers in perspective? He only had 108 personally sponsored people. Now, watch this. Then the number of people on his personal team was 1,802 after 1 year. Have you got this? 108 personally sponsored people. Yep, I got it. And 1,800 people, 1,802 people at the end of 12 months. Would you guys be able to stand this, to do this work if you thought this is what you would get? Yes or no? What do you think? We're making the dials, making the dials, making the dials. And we've put all the BS aside about, oh, I don't feel good today. No. Pick up the thing and start dialing. Oh, but they might say no. Do it. Do your dials. This is what we're doing. Because of this reason. Right? There's no, because people say, network marketing doesn't work. Of course it works. People make millions. But you just don't know how to do it. So learn how. It's a numbers game. Vicki, remind me to ask me for a numbers example that will really be quite amazing to people at the end.
Okay.
But get over this, your upline telling you how easy it is. That's to get you in. And then they keep telling you that is to keep you paying every month. If you want to make money, the upline is not going to make you money. You make them money. You decide, how much do I want? What's my plan going to be? You can do dials, and the dials can be, after a dial is a euphemism. He actually did dials, but in today's world, it's kind of euphemism for reaching out to somebody that you know is at the other end. So you can be done with Facebook, but not posting. Just posting willy-nilly is not a dial, right? So you have to make it for today for those of you but you should do some calls. All of you should be making a couple hundred calls in your first month. If you're not doing the business. I don't know why you're even here. That's the way the nature of this is, to get the word out to many people. And a small percent will say yes and take you to the moon. That's the way it is. And you can decide to do it or not do it. Fine with me. And listen to people, That's why the industry is in the tank from a perspective of, negative. A lot of people feel negatively about this industry, and it's not because of the products or because of the business model. Most people don't know the business model. It's pretending that it's easy and getting people to pay you money thinking it's easy, and it's not. This is it right here. You're looking at, okay? His income after 12 months. Who wants to know what this guy earned his first year after doing all that work, 60 a day, right? You want to know what the poor guy made? $331,000. His goal was 100, remember? 100,000. That's what he made in his first year. Yeah. This is how you do it. And the question is not like, is it easy? Anyone can do it. Who knows? Do the thing, get the power. That's what Emerson said. You do it over and over. Do it over and over and over and over. The talent to practice. The talent for repetition. Makes a surgeon, makes Michael Jordan. It makes all the greats in any field. And one of the greatest violinists in the world that I met in Aspen years ago, he said, because they have a lot of performances there, and he said, if I don't practice one day, I know. If I don't practice 2 days in a row, I think he said his mother or somebody really close to him knows. And he said, if 3 days go by that I don't practice, my audience knows. How many people here talk to people 5 or 10 times a day? Versus if I said, when's the last time you talked to somebody about the business? How many people honestly here would say, well, maybe last week? How many haven't talked to anybody all day about your business so far? Just say me. Let me see. It's true for everybody. Nobody does. How many people have not talked to somebody about their business today? How many haven't talked to somebody about their business today or yesterday? It's fine. We love you. That's why we're here. How many haven't talked to people in 3 days about the business? So what happens is when you do talk to somebody, will it be as good as if you had talked to 10 people that day and this was number 11? Right? Who do you want to have do eye surgery on your kid? One who's done it 3 times in the past 90 days? Or the guy who does 3 of them per hour? Who do you want to do your kid's eye surgery? The one who's done 100 in the last 2 months or the one who's done 10? Who do you want? Which one do you want doing your kid? Right? It's called medical practice, a legal practice. Yeah, everybody wants the one who's done it 1,000 times. And that's why he's paid 100 grand to do one little eye look. And the other guy who's done it 5 times is paid, a couple $100. Big difference. The most experience. What's experience? Repetitions, right, Steve? The talent. Notice he said that it's a talent to practice. You have to develop the talent because you won't want to. Talents are developed. All right. He developed a talent for repetition. All right. So we're getting close to the end here. Like all top performers, I just want you to know, today he's making $2 million a year and he sits on his butt most of the time. So remember, when it comes to what it takes to be elite, if you're making 100 grand a month in this business, you are an elite performer. Yes, you are. Why? Because most people make nothing. Look at your company pay plan where it says, here's the numbers of people, what people make in the different ranks. You'll see that almost nobody makes this kind of big money. They just don't. Look, but don't cry and say the business model doesn't work. They're not doing this and they don't teach this. That's why. If you decide, no, the 1% are at the top because they know what to do. The rest of them didn't know what to do or decided it isn't worth it. How many of you knew these numbers might be what you need to do? How many of you would do them knowing what's at the end of it? Hello. That's why they're 1% at the top. They'll do it. The rest of the people won't or they don't know. How many of you would do this if you knew it got you 100 grand at the end of 12 months? Any me's or nobody? It's too hard. Okay. Remember? Chess masters, violinists, professional ice skaters, all of them. The difference between them and the lesser performers is the talent for practice itself. Okay. This is totally what you want to do. Okay. And that's what he did. He developed the talent for practice. And to some people, that's boring, and it's definitely the case. But without the talent for practice and the reps called repetitions, hundreds of times per week or day, you're basically not going to appear. You won't get any good. It's not just talking to people. No, you're talking to people with the intent to use your words to see if they will be part of your business. That is not talking about the husbands and the hemorrhoids and how are you and oh my gosh, the railroad's slow today or, the beach is not being clean today or blah, blah, blah. This is what you do, okay? They would do it, okay? Who wants to be another Chester case study in the next 12 months? You want that? Hey, we months? What do you mean we? How about 12 months? Yeah, right? Yeah, we'll show you how you could totally become that person because that's what it takes. And where to find the people? Oh, such a piece of cake. But it's a piece of cake because I've decided it's worth it, that other goal. So the how is almost irrelevant. Hey, she said she got 60 people. Damn, we're only going to find 60 dials. How are we going to do that? Well, and suddenly you start Googling. How do you, find all these people? And all these ideas come. And suddenly you have, oh my God, I have 1,000 people I can be connecting. I better break them up into 60. And suddenly you start. That's what you do. And then to keep going. And the law of numbers will be on your side always, always. Okay. Because a lot of folks, have a hard time with this, and you want to clear away some cobwebs in your mind so you can totally get going. And I'm going to show you a 2-minute story here about the doomed fly. And some of you, we all, in some way or other, are a doomed fly in some part of our life. And it's not in this part of my life. And I'd like to save you the trouble of being a doomed fly and not knowing it, And so I'm going to show you this right here. There's a wonderful book called, it's a little book. You don't have to get it. I'm going to read out of it to you. So you're going to see that. See that? You see that? See you too, right? Vic, people able to see that? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And it's a book by a guy named Price Pritchett. And he's a writer and a philosopher sort of guy. And he was, you've all seen a fly on your windowsill. And Price Pritchett, yep, totally. And he was sitting one day he went into the woods to go to a cabin, sit by a stream, take a break like we all need to do. And he was sitting there at his little writing desk, probably writing this very treatise here that he has. And he said, I'm listening to the desperate sounds of a life or death struggle going on a few feet away, right? That's what he was doing. And he was watching this fly. And he said, the small fly is burning out the last of its short life's energies in a futile attempt to fly through the glass of the window pane. The whining wings tell the poignant story of the fly's strategy: try harder. Its frenzied efforts offer no hope for survival. Ironically, the struggle is part of the trap. It's impossible for the fly to try hard enough to succeed at breaking through the glass. Nevertheless, this little insect has staked its life on reaching its goal through raw effort and determination. The fly is doomed. It will die there on the windowsill. And then he says, across the room, because he's sitting in his window, right, on his little desk with his window in the front with his little trees and the big, probably redwoods, wherever he is. He says, to his left, his front door is open. This is a little one-room cabin. And he says, the door is open. 10 seconds of flying from right to where he was in front of him on the glass, like this, like you see here, the whole door was open. And he says, the fly would have the freedom that it seeks. With only a fraction of the effort that he's now wasting, it could be free of the self-imposed trap. The breakthrough possibility is there. It would be so easy. Why doesn't the fly try another approach, something dramatically different? How did it get so locked in on the idea that this particular route and determined effort, that this offers the most promise for success? What logic is there in continuing until death to seek a breakthrough with more of the same? No doubt this makes sense to the fly. Regrettably, it's an idea that will kill. If you keep doing the same thing you're doing now, like talk to one or two people, and you don't know what the language is that you should use so that your words help a person either see, yes, they want to be in business with you, or help find the people, help you find the people that you're looking for, you're going to die too. Because the methods are just too horrible. Do you see? And so if you stake your hopes on trying harder, doing the same thing that you've been doing, you're going to end up like the fly. What's he do at the end? Bzz, bzz, bzz. I mean, in the morning, we find him all dead on the windowsill. And the door is still open. You see that? I mean, if you don't want to do that, you quit doing that. Just stop. Okay? So trying harder might not be the fix. Change what you do or die. Does this make sense, everybody, to you? If you don't know the numbers that are required and the consistent effort that's required, you will never make it in a business like this. That's just the way it is. So you need to know that you want this income. But most of all, how many of you here, before I tell you, kind of a little 5-minute spiel, do you want to hear, by the way, what we do, so you can see if you might want to be able to apply and qualify to work with us? We have a couple of options. There are different price points. Let me see what you got here. Okay, cool. The numbers may look to you like, oh my God, like somebody was honest enough to say, what are you, crazy? I mean, I'll have to But you see, do you have any idea how many times per week Michael Jordan practiced to build up his muscles on below his knees, those muscles in particular, so that he could jump high enough? If you look at his videos on the shots he made, he looks like he could fly. People, oh my God, oh my God. What they don't know is that he spent 4 or 5 days a week, 2 or 3 times a day for 2-hour stints in the gym. 2 hours, take a rest. Another 2 hours, same day, take a rest. Another 2 hours. Every single day during season time. And almost as much off season because he was afraid that he would lose it. So getting really good is very boring. And it's also kind of a pain in the butt. But the payoff is you will be the best. And that comes with a lot of rewards. Money is the lowest, but because people need it, I put it first. But the recognition, knowing that you can do this, there's nothing like strutting down the street knowing that you got it. And that you know you can. See, that's what matters. All right, so we have a little program. One is called a big school. This is a bigger level program, but I'll show you what the basics are. There are 4 pieces to it. Number 1, you need to, when you start making these calls, right? You need to know words to say. What are you going to say with Vicki? Vic, why don't you put your number in there right now? There's some people I think who are anxious to at least put in an application. Max out. Vicki, could you put in the max out? The HTTPS maxout.com/pick me. So if somebody wants to, and your number in the chat, and I'll show you what the pieces are. All right. So number 1, when you talk to people, what are you going to say? Right? And you might do a group, especially if you work with us. We'd like to have you talk to 20 people at once. And you don't have to be on screen if you're chicken. You know, we have people who say, oh my God, I look terrible. I can't, great. So shut the thing off. Put a nice picture of yourself, right? And then you need to know what to say to attract the right people. Because you don't want Lulus, you don't want losers, you don't want lazy people. So you have an attractor formula. We're going to teach you how to use that and create it for what you are marketing. Okay, it's custom, obviously. Then we have a sewing machine process, SOW. And that is, you need to sow seed so that some of those people start connecting with you. See, this is one way we've done one up on Chester. You be prepared to do your 60 per day if you want 100 grand. If you want 200 grand, do more. Right? That number depends on the outcome you want. How muscled up do you want to get? Just a little bit? Well, that's less than a lot. Okay. So a sewing machine, what we do is we teach you how to sew. Once you know how to attract people, your people, so that when you do some little watering and nurturing, some of those people are going to come back to you. So you want to do that. And we're going to teach you how to do that. Save a little time, leverage, Of course, did this 18 years ago, but you need to be prepared. The numbers, be prepared for those. Then we have what we call a virtual magnet. What is that? Well, when people show an interest from, because you sow the seeds and people, oh yeah, that sounds kind of cool. I want to know what that is. We have virtual magnets that you can create. We have templates for them. And they're like PDFs, or it can be a video, depending on what you want to make. And it can be an audio. And the person who's interested sees that without you hanging over their shoulder. They see it on their own. And they go through it and they go, that sounds pretty cool. I might like to do that. Some people say, well, that's really not what I want to do. So they let go. So people select and self-select right here. And then what happens is this. You never hear no. See, we never hear no. We haven't heard no in our business for, 26 years. I heard it once and it was enough. Everything I do is built around making people come to me. That's what we teach you. And when you do the dialing, the way you're going to do that is to teach you the discipline. You have got to have that discipline of the talent for practice, or you are dead. But we'll make it easier for you then. Not easy in the sense of like you're not going to have to do it, because you want to develop your internal, your internal scoreboard. You want to develop you. It's in the end you that makes a difference in this world, and you've got to be skilled up. Okay. But the magnet, what happens is people self-select. See. And then they get a calendar with a last set of questions that determines for them if they're going to want to have an interview with us or not. So we have an enroller calendar, an enroller interview, and templates for this. And what happens, guess what happens is people book on our calendar. Vicki has a calendar working, we turn it on, and she can have 5 to 7 people per day that she interviews, all of whom have self-selected through a number of qualifiers that we want in our people so that we don't have to turn people down, right? What happens? And then she signs up for our team. We build an experimental team. We do that every 4 or 5 years. And she signs up, I think, 9 or 10 out of 10 because the people are so well qualified. Do you see how that works? And then what happens? Guess what? You start building a team, and then you need to figure out how to start managing your team. That's going to be a whole new problem that you have. And you're going to have friends because you have some money now. They'll say, oh my gosh, can I have some money? Right? And you'll have money for crypto and maybe NFTs. Who knows? All that stuff, right? Word of vacation, right? Aren't those the kind of problems you want to have? And you tell me. Okay, good. Well, I think we're set. So what's the next step? This. If you want to be first in line to work with us, to teach you how to do this, we're not a cheap date, but 100 grand a year is also not cheap money. So, sometimes people go, oh, it's going to cost a lot of money. Yeah, it is. It is if you want that. Now, if you don't want it, you don't have to pay it. Or you can pay somebody else $27 and hope maybe something's going to happen. But you see, the issue is going to be, first of all, there's every business that has ever amounted to anything has borrowed their way there, all of them. Why? It's what businesses do. Businesses borrow money to multiply it, borrow money to invest it. In fact, somebody borrowed money to buy, I diddle with crypto a little bit, and Ape has the Bored Ape Yacht Club. They put some coins out, and they're available now. You can get them. And when the day of the airdrop happened, there was somebody who borrowed $300,000, bought in, the minute it opened with this borrowed money. And then because it went up so fast in just a few hours, sold his thing back with the borrowed money and ended up netting $1 million in one day from borrowing $300,000 because he didn't have it. And then the thing went up so much, it went from whatever he paid for it, like $100 each to $500. And then he could sell them at the end of the day, or sell most of them, and still come out with $1 million ahead. So borrowing money is something businesses do. And if those of you who are fans of, what's his name? Ramsey, Dave Ramsey likes to say, don't borrow any money. He is speaking to people that don't have a business. And if you only have a job and you have no business, where you can make your own money, then that's probably good advice, because your income is set. If you have a salary of $50,000 a year, $40,000 a year, $70,000, $100,000 a year, if that's what it is in your business, then you shouldn't be spending, $30,000 on something or $10,000 on something because you have no way to pay it back, right? But with a business, from John Rockefeller to Elon Musk to Steve Jobs to you, to us, we borrow money because it gives us leverage and lets us multiply the money that we have. That's why you do that. And there are we have several really good funding sources that make it really totally affordable for somebody who really wants to make significant income on their own. Okay, so pick me. So go ahead and do that. What you'll see, by the way, is this, a little form. You want to work with our team, and then just fill it in. We just want to know why you want to work with us and what your goals are financially, and where you are, what you think your obstacles are, so we can see if we can help you. Because we like to have students that we know we can help, because then we all get to succeed together. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. And maxout.com/pick me.
And you can text me, say, I put it in. What happens is, if you text me, of course, it pops right up on my screen, not just my email, and I'll highlight you. So for sake of time, because my calendar, ask him, it's always full. It's always full of good people, all good people.
Right.
All right.
Okay, good. Yes, let's go. Yeah, we got you. Okay. I mean, what's happened to you, Vic? since you've been doing this new approach? I mean, because you were in the business even before I got started, right?
Well, I'll tell you what, the greatest part is that when you get that skill set down, I can only tell you it's kind of a nirvana thing for me. Because I tend to be quiet. I'm an introvert, really by nature. Kim knows it was I used to have to drink a Bailey's in the bathroom when she wanted me to do a group thing in front of people. Oh my gosh, I went off to a bathroom stall and had a hit of Bailey's to do that. So, but with the practice over the years and taking all the cellular icky stuff out of it that made me feel bad, and then switching the language up, obviously Kim helped master that with me. I thought, oh my gosh, I've never heard anybody be in this industry that talked like a normal person, like they knew what the other person was thinking and feeling instead of what they wanted. Once I did that, all of that agony just went away, and I actually like doing this now. I like it. I like it, I like it, I like it. And when my calendar is full, it's no longer these icky people that you sift and sort through because they're window shoppers or they're homeless and you can't help them all. It's rather they're positioned, they're looking, they want to change something, and they're all 9s and 10s, all of them in attitude. So there is no bad calls, none. I feel bad sometimes when I have to say no first to some of the good ones because they're not quite ready. So I advise and lift and send them to go get a book or get some little program for them to start with, but none of them give me a bad vibe. And when I hang up, my self-esteem is intact and I lifted theirs. So it just feels good, Kim, all the way. And last, I'm telling you, it's the way you grow from it and the skill set you get. It's euphoric for me to do this kind of work. When I'm done, and it's tiring sometimes, I hang up, my voice may be a little bit gone, but I feel good, like good. There's nothing like that. I think there's a couple of questions coming in. Somebody just came in, Elgin?
Yeah, I was saying, what are the takeaways? And she said, how you have to be willing to talk to people and look at it as practice. Yes, that is so true. Yep, that's what you learn in the program, Steve, when you get in. We teach the how. The key first is you need to have a goal so that you'll do the work. Because if you don't do the work, we're going to beat you good. You've got the goal. All right, good. Well, what are we going to do? We have to, talk. There's a zillion people on social media. Yeah, but they didn't go there to hear from you and pitch about how easy your thing is and how easy it is to make money. You have to learn to attract people. But what we teach you how to do is, let's say we had a product and it helped people get their sexy back, a little energy back, So if I had something like that, which, Vicki, we should find something like that if we don't have anything, or unless we have something, because that'd be really fun. Because then you could say, on your Facebook profile, you could say, if you're looking to get your sexy back, here's a way to get him to beg you for it 3 times a week. If you want more, read on. If you want more, say me. If you want more, I'll do a live, say me. Why? You want your sexy back? Here's a way to get her to beg you for it 3 times a week. Want more information? Click here. Do this, do that. That's it. You see that? That's what we do. So who comes? Only the people who want somebody else begging for it 3 times a week. You got it? Steve? This is how you learn. And it really is a question of what it is that your thing does that is different in a different way, because there are a million products for weight loss, right? And so you have to figure out, why are you different? How are you different? It doesn't have to be better, it's different. So that world that's looking to lose weight, which is just about everybody, will take your path to get there. Like Vic has been in the weight and health business, and she's friends with Dr. Heidi. Some of you know she runs a big consulting business, has 3 big sellers on Amazon. Crazy Eating, how to eat your way back to health. Forget everything else. She doesn't even have an agenda. She's just so good. But they used to run Juice Fast together, and I used to go. I came from wherever I was in the world. I used to do a lot of public speaking, and wherever I was, oh, you're having one? Okay, I gotta come. And I would be there. Why? Because I love juice fasting. I've never been a fat, so it's not like I need to lose weight. I want the juice, the energy that comes when you stop eating and you eat only those juices that they have. and you get a buzz, you get an energy. I mean, I feel like my whole inside out was restored. So what if we were marketing a program like that? If you really want to feel like you can't control yourself anymore, you just like you were when you were a teenager and whatever it is, here's one way to do it for people that are wishing they could be all horny again, for example. But for other people, it's like, you can't remember where you put your keys. You walked in a room, can't remember why. And you think, oh my God, this is the end is coming. You know, what if it isn't? Here's a way in 3 days, you will never forget why you walked into a room again. You'll never forget where you left your keys either. And it's weird. So if you want to know, say me, and I'll do a little live on it. So you're attracting by something unique that everybody wants, which is more health, a better relationship, somebody to love on them, somebody for them to love, and something to do besides watch crime on TV. And to be with people that pride themselves on skill building and that honor talent and excellence, not promoting how easy it is and any nitwit can do it. Why would you want to be part of that? Do the hard stuff and become really good at it. That's who we're looking for. Because then what happens after a year? It's been 17 years, but he makes $2 million a year and he really sits on his butt.
Yeah,
as far as I know, he can't even use a computer properly. You know, we know him. We're friends. We've known him for, I don't know, 8 years, 9, 10 years. He's a big fan of the Orange Book. Oh my gosh. I think he wants to be in the next edition. Yeah. So you see, if you want to honor excellence, you want to become excellent, and you want to hang out with people that instead of talking in the groups about why they didn't go to the meeting or why they didn't sign anybody up or why they didn't do whatever they should have, I want to talk to people who did more. And they actually got so good that they played a violin piece and didn't make any mistakes. That they did 70 connects that day, dials. That they had 400 people sign up and they didn't know where to put them in the room. Because that's what comes of going through the drudge. Becoming a superstar is a bore. A total, utter bore. Can you live with that for a year? And then you'll be practicing always. There's no finish line, but at least you'll be good. You'll be good.
And it feels good to be good. It
does. Yeah,
really
because you know you can. Yeah. Yeah, the Outliers. You know, the guy who wrote the Outliers book said, what is it, 10,000 times you have to do something. Think about the doomed fly. How much longer do you want to be the doomed fly on the wall? Right? That's really quite the big issue, isn't it? So don't be that. All right, Vic, we will call it a day, and thank you guys for coming.
Love it, always. Love. We don't want to be doomed flies anymore, so let's give it up.
All right, Vic, well, let you get with some people.
Okay.
See you guys next time. Thanks.
All right, excellent, Kim.